A week after prosecutors called out Circuit Court's Judge Brian Rahilly for disparaging them in recently uncovered private text messages, we're continuing to look into what he said and how severe the repercussions could be. My UP Skylar Perkins has the story.
I mean, just demeaning things that they said.
On July 23rd, Alger County Prosecutor Robert Steinhoff spoke out as he pursued action against Circuit Court Judge Brian Rahilly after seeing evidence that Steinhoff said raised concerns about the judge having bias and undue influence in the courtroom.
Our jurist has shown bias against law enforcement, against attorneys, has used some language that is quite troubling and, frankly, mean.
Texts received by law enforcement through a separate investigation revealed years of messages between Rahilly and Judge Clayton Graham, frequently criticizing Mackinac County Prosecutor Stuart Spencer, at times accusing him of being useless in the courtroom and a moron, while at other times passing similar judgment on select attorneys and public defenders. In one instance, Graham appears to say in frustration that he wanted to use his WWE moves on Spencer, to which Rahilly said, "I like your chances." The text also suggests Rahilly had intentionally scheduled some trials in close proximity to each other in an effort to force prosecutors to settle or dismiss them.
And not necessarily for the fair administration of justice as the litigants see it.
Plus, at least two texts from Rahilly outright claim that he enjoys screwing with attorneys. In their petitions to the Michigan Supreme Court, Steinhoff and Graham said the judge violated the Judicial Code of Conduct, showing clear bias and attempts to manipulate their prosecutorial decisions. To find perspective, we reached out to Cooley Law School professor Renelia DuBose, who told us when it comes to ethics, judges are held to an extraordinarily high standard. So, she agrees. While we could sort through the legalese of her explanation, she told us the message of the ethics code is not that complicated.
Do you want that judge to say, "I like screwing with your son's lawyer"? Because guess who will bear the punishment for that screwing with your son's lawyer? Your son.
So then, what happens from here? According to Steinhoff, a fill-in is already covering for Rahilly while he's on leave. For insight into how the future could be decided, we got in touch with Kevin Hirsch, the Deputy Director of the Judicial Tenure Commission.
We can't talk about specifics of any particular case.
While largely secretive, he did tell us about the general process of the JTC. Most cases start with a submitted complaint, an investigation, and then if it hasn't been thrown out, usually some form of warning or suspension is issued, which stays confidential.
Basically, everything is confidential until it gets to a public complaint setting.
With cases only becoming public if they go to a trial that could result in removal.
Frankly, you get a lot of allegations that just don't ultimately have merit.
According to Hirsch, about 500 complaints against judges have been filed in the last year.
They could dismiss. They could suspend the judge for a particular length of time.
But only 5 judges have been removed from the bench.
They could be removed from the bench entirely. So that would be the most, for the most egregious actions, they could be removed permanently from the bench.
And that means we have 5 cases to compare with the complaints levied against Judge Rahilly. We'll have a story doing just that up on our website. For now, I'm Skylar Perkins from IUP News.